Let's get down in the dirt with the Home Show Garden Pros.
All right. Hey, everybody. It is time for the Facebook Live for Home Show Garden Pros. And we're here to just, answer gardening questions. That's what we do all of the time. We answer gardening questions. We love helping you out that way. We do it live Saturday mornings usually. And our big kind of route to do that is by bringing a bunch of gardening experts in on the radio show on Sports Radio 610 every Saturday morning. And right now it's just me answering some of your gardening questions. These are kind of curated questions from Facebook and from our website, which is a great place for a lot of resources, a lot of videos, some blog stuff, Garden Pros, Prose, pros. Get it? Nice. Yeah, no, that's a good one. Anyway, so that website is homeshowgardenpros.com. homeshowgardenpros.com. There it is right there. And we're just on there doing what we can. So there's two buttons I really want you to know about on there. One is the listen button, and you get to listen to the show. It plays on repeat throughout the week. So while you're gardening, put it on. You'll get some good tips, some good things on there. Hear about some great products. The other one is the Ask a Pro button, and that's how we get a lot of your questions, and sometimes we read those on the air live, and sometimes we do them in the Facebook. So we're going to jump on to questions. So this week we have Joey Linderman on and Zach Buchanan on, and we're actually having a video with Zach about some citrus stuff. So first question we're going to hit up is from Brooke. Where is a good place to buy citrus trees in Houston? I'm looking for a Satsuma tree and an improved Meyer lemon tree. So let me just say this about the improved Meyer lemon. Is we all think we want lemon trees because we love lemons, but if you're not making a lot of lemonade, that's a lot of juicing, or you're making a lot of pies, lemons are a little bit harder to use. Now, the Satsuma tree is so cool because it's so easy to peel, very good flavor, makes a lot of fruit. The kids can pick it and eat it. You're basically talking about cuties at that point. And so I love the idea, Brooke, of getting a Satsuma tree. Now, if you're dead set on getting a lemon tree, the improved Meyer lemon is the cold hardiest. It makes big fruit, really tasty fruit. The two places, kind of ironic that there are two guests on Saturday, would be Enchanted Forest or Enchanted Gardens. They have a great citrus selection. The Enchanted places do, and the Buchanan's has a really great citrus selection. Plants for All Seasons, you're up there $249, really great citrus selection, and Warren Southern Gardens if you're in Kingwood. So all these places have phenomenal selections of citrus trees. And the best thing about them is they're buying from local growers. So we currently have a bit of a disease thing happening, not COVID. Citrus greening is a virus spreading from citrus. And these places are buying from trusted local places that are maintaining quarantine, really making sure that the trees are good. So hope that helps a lot. Really, some other great citrus trees. If you do like lemons and you are going to make lemonade, there's a tree called Ujikitsu. It's a wonderful tree, kind of already making sweet lemons. And so if you're just juicing, it is making lemonade just right off the bat. Really amazing, but also good for cooking and stuff like that. So that hope that helps, Brooks. Citrus, I love doing citrus, and hopefully a lot of y'all that had citrus got it off in the cold weather. I know a lot of the questions I saw on Facebook and via the emails this week were about cold weather plants. So the next question we got is a real good one. It's from Bruce. Bruce is dealing with a problem we're all dealing with. And Bruce's kind of mindset here is something we all deal with too. So Bruce's question is, how can I get rid of grass burrs? I've tried Scott's Weed and Feed and salt. I can't find anything that works. Help. Well, I will say that, Bruce, you only tried two things. So, not to be too rude there, but Scott's Weed and Feed and salt will kill plants sometimes. But the thing with the grass burrs, if they're the sand burrs that are kind of low-level plant, they like the same setting as Bermuda or St. Augustine. And this is going to be a little bit tricky to deal with them. But the first thing we got to do is get you some old towels, and where you have the burrs real bad, you drag them around that space. That'll pick up a lot of the currently dried burrs, the ones that are still kind of ready to go, the really ones that are poking your feet or your kids' feet or your dog's feet. Maybe they're the ones getting hurt. We love dogs. And so you get that towel, you spread it around. That'll pick up a lot of the ones. But then you're going to come along and you're going to do a pre-emergent herbicide. So the problem with Scott's or salt is that it is a chemical post-emergent. So after the plant's already made, but you're not dealing with the next couple generations of seed. So you want a pre-emergent, and Barricade is one you can find pretty ubiquitously. Anyway, you can find it almost anywhere. Any of the Home Show Garden Pros will have Barricade, and it is a pre-emergent. So you want to start doing that now, kind of maybe monthly through February, to really stop the next cycle. If you can stymie that February growth, you can probably get it to where you don't have those anymore. But a very key thing is mechanically picking up all those seeds, and that towel will really help you. A blanket will work, just something that you're maybe going to throw away after you pick up as many seeds as you can possibly get. And they can be really painful. I mean, it's the worst when you're walking around your yard, you think you've done this great job, and then your feet are literally in pain. So that's no good. I love kids and dogs and don't want to see them in pain. So that's a question. Our next question should be a good one. It's a real ringer here. It's from Diane. And, Diane, we get it. So Diane is devastated and mad at herself for not wrapping up her babes. She lost her trumpet plant and her hibiscus and tomatoes. What should I do now? Diane, you're not alone. A lot of people maybe didn't want to take the time to wrap something up or didn't realize that a freeze would damage some of the stuff. A big issue that happened was we had really warm temperatures, 60s, 70s the week before this freeze. So all these kind of tropical plants were just thriving. They were doing really great. They were really coming along really well. And then this freeze happens and really nips them back a lot. So, a lot of people, they want to prune right after a freeze. I would suggest you wait a couple days, maybe even 4 or 5 days, because then you'll get to really see what's actually dead. And if it's a trumpet vine, there's a good chance that it's not dead all the way back to the base, that only some leaves got singed. And in that case, just take the dead leaves off. Same with tomato plant. I had a glory, how much I love Juliet tomatoes. I had this beautiful Juliet tomato. I picked about a dozen tomatoes off of it before the freeze. And yeah, some of it got singed. And I'm going to clip those back probably Friday. So 2 more days. That's 4 days after the freeze. And then I'll just kind of let the plant keep growing. Because we have a trend for 4 seasons in a row, not counting that one random snow, but that basically we're getting an early freeze in November. And then we don't have any really terrible weather until late January, early February. And so, maybe it's something to kind of trust that that's going to be our trend this year. For sure, we're going to see a few more weeks of pretty great weather. So next time, make sure you're covering your hibiscus, especially if we have a warm week beforehand. But on some bigger plants that maybe aren't as sensitive as those ones you've described, I think it's probably best to just wait to clip them. You can take off dead branches, take off dead leaves, but you really don't want to do any major pruning because you might be cutting into some branches that are still alive, and that would not be ideal. So remember, when you're covering your stuff, you want to open up your cover to the ground. So the best thing you can do is buy some frost cloth. It comes, 12 feet wide, and you want to make sure that you don't have an opening at the top, and you think in tint, right? Not circle up above the ground, but a tint above the ground, because the earth stays warm, right? The soil around your plant will be your heat source. And that's a really cool thing to remember when you're covering your plant. So get some frost cloth at your favorite HomeShow Garden Pro location and make sure that you are covering those plants that are super sensitive, like some of those you mentioned. So it is painful though, Diane. I get it. I totally get it. All right. I know a lot of y'all are in that same situation, so we're going to move on to our next question, but those of y'all dealing with freeze stuff, I get it. I lost my eggplants. Sad face. This one's from Karen. When should I stop watering a Bermuda for the winter, or should we just reduce the duration and days? I'm currently at 3 days per week for 2 minutes. Thanks for advice. Karen, great question there. Just kind of got to break it down a little bit. If you've got a Bermuda lawn, you can just stop watering it. Totally water. Just completely stop. Water's not really leaving. There's not a lot of evaporation right now. Plus, the plant's not growing very fast. And those are the 2 ways that really water comes out of our soil, either by the plant using it to grow and then transpiring it through the leaves, or by evaporation. So if we really aren't seeing either of those, I'd say just stop watering it. Now, kind of talking about 3 days per week, 2 minutes, I get how that might be the way we think. We think less water, less length of water. But all you're doing there is keeping that top 2 inches real soggy. And that's a good way to encourage disease. That's a good way to make sure your roots aren't very deep and strong. If you do really feel like you've got to keep watering through the winter, what you got to do is do one day per week, maybe 10, 15 minutes, do a little bit deeper watering. And if you see runoff, that just means that you don't need to water as much. So I do 1 day per week, a little bit deeper. Don't do that 2 minutes, 3 days per week. That's just going to encourage fungal disease. This is the season for that, and that is the way to grow kill all patch or brown patch or something like that. So be aware of that. But man, if you've got Bermuda or St. Augustine, just cut the water off. You'll see the lawn will do wonderful, and you will not be encouraging as many weeds like dollarweed or crabgrass. Things like that love water. So, Karen, great question. I know my lawn is looking really great. I recently compost top dressed it, and it's growing like crazy, and I'm not watering it. So, all right, we're on to the very next question, our last recorded question, and we do really encourage you to ask questions in our chat room. So if you're watching, we'd love to get your question in. Just put it in there, and we will read every single one of those. We'll take our time. We'll get to them after we watch the video from Zach. So here's our very last question. Good times here. I do love answering your questions. This one's from Brooke. Brooke says, where's a good place to buy citrus trees in Houston? I think we already answered Brooke's question, but I'm saying go to our Home Show Garden Pros location. Go to the website, homeshowgardenpros.com. Any of our co-op members have great citrus selections. So just you got those. But here's, no, let me see if I've got it here. No, that was our questions. I think we did great. We got the burrs one, we got the citrus, we have the devastation, lost the trumpet vine, and we have the how much do I water my lawn. So great stuff. Since we're here talking citrus, Houston is a great area for citrus. Kumquats are awesome. Satsumas are awesome. Things that make a lot are awesome. Clementines, oh my gosh, you can get so many amazing fruit. There's a mandarin called the Atlas honey mandarin. No kidding, it tastes like honey. So really incredible stuff. And we're going to learn a little bit now about when to harvest your citrus from Zach Buchanan. So we're going to go to that here now.
Here we've got a lemon tree. It's got some fruit on it right now, not a whole lot of fruit. This tree over here is a lime that has considerably more fruit. The best time to pick this fruit is going to be fall or winter, depending on the variety of citrus. But usually things are ripening in fall, winter. You don't want to pick all the fruit off at one time. You want to pick off what you're going to use or pick off what you're going to give to your friends, but leave the rest of the fruit hanging, and then it'll be ready for you when it is time to use. If you have a lot of leftover fruit, a great idea is give it to your friends.
Well, thanks, Zach. Great word. Hope everybody feels a little bit better about what they're doing with their citrus. You can always pick one and harvest it, but check out our website, homeshowgardenpros.com. If a question comes to you kind of after we've finished this, what you want to do is just go there and hit that Ask a Pro button. You can always go to our our Facebook page, which you obviously know how to get to that, and ask a question there. You can message me on there, and I will answer that question. So, or ideally, you can give us a call. So 281-496-5711 is the call-in number for Saturday mornings. Write it down now, and then you can get your question in, get it live. And I promise you, if you have a question, somebody else has that question. So one more time, 281-496-5711. Well, Facebook, it's been a pleasure, and I will talk to you soon.